What's up, fam? It's another episode of Primal AF. It's your boy Jimmy Knapp. I'm here again, back in the studio, and I'm on one today. I'm feeling it. By the way, if you haven't yet, please like or subscribe. Find me on Apple iTunes. Find me on Spotify. Just find me, like, share. Need your help, guys. The question of the day is, what am I so juiced about? I think anytime I start talking about mental toughness and overcoming adversity, it just lights a fire. So, I'm just feeling it today. And what I really want to talk about today is how to triumph personally. What can we do to get our mental sculpting and achieve what we want to by setting a good self image? So, this is going to be a great podcast. This is good for anybody that's kind of just spinning the wheel is stuck in the mud, and you're not gaining enough traction. You're not going as fast as you want to go, or maybe you don't have enough clarity or you don't have a clear direction. This is going to be a great one. This is going to be a powerful one, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So, this is a challenge, and whatever type of personality type you are, we all come across it. And the challenge is overcoming self doubt. And self doubt could come in a bunch of different ways. It can come in the form of stories or not living up to our own expectations. It could be comparing ourselves to somebody that's in a different field but doing very good at what they do. It's not exactly what we do, though, but we still compare ourselves in them. It could be looking at somebody that's been doing whatever skill you've been doing for 10 years and you just got started 3 months ago and you're trying to find the same goals as they are. And here's the thing. We have to get very granular and very specific when it comes to how we're going about painting the target, or what exactly are we aiming at? Where is our success and how do we measure it? So let me start this off by telling a story. And I'm going to Tarantino this thing a little bit. I'm going to tell you the purpose of this story is purposeful aim. So I ran my first Spartan race. It was up in Vermont. It was a 50K, so it was an ultra, the hardest race to complete that I've ever participated in. Either way, I'm about 20 miles deep and probably gone up and down 3 or 4 mountains. I don't know how many tens of thousands of feet elevation gain and difference that we're going through, but I come about 3/4 of the way through the first loop, and it's a spear throw. Not something that seems very hard. So I pick up a spear and I throw it at this target, and the spear ends up somehow going sideways, and it like hits it almost like you would a baseball bat. It's like sideways. The spear doesn't go into the hay; it like bounces off sideways. So when you're that tired in a race, it's almost demoralizing to get on the ground and give the earth 30 burpees. You don't have a lot of energy at this point in a race. Yet, had to do it, and I went on my merry way. I think most of you guys know how I ended up in my very first Spartan race. I DNF'd it either way. I go to my second race, and it was a beast down in North Carolina. And same thing, I go to the spear throw, and again, the same thing happens. I just hum this thing, right? I grab it and I just toss it like you would toss any other stick or like the end of a rake. And again, I hit the target, but the spear was sideways. Now, this was a 21K, so I wasn't chipper by any means. I still had to do 30 burpees and it still sucked. And I knew that something had to change right then and there. So my intention was to find a way to get the spear to stick into that target. So I ended up buying, and my wife made fun of me, but I ended up buying 2 spears and a bunch of hay, and I placed it in the backyard. And I would just throw 10 spears at a time and just really kind of fine tune and finesse and finally figure out how to get this thing to fly straight. So, flash forward into May of 2021, I attempt my second ultra, my 50K. I go around the first loop. It's probably about 22, 23 miles in. One of the last obstacles is a spear throw. I threw it and I nailed it. I was happy. So I went into the transition area, I roll back out, and I go to the same point at the very end of the race. I'm 49.5 kilometers in this race. And this is my very last obstacle that I have to do. Dead tired. My legs are like cinder blocks and everything is cramping, everything hurts. And I picked the spear up, same thing, and I nailed it. And I looked up and I just about cried. Just, it was all over. I didn't have to do any more. I crossed the finish line. And the purpose of that story was I had to get very intentional if it was something that I wanted to accomplish. I was tired of getting the same results by doing nothing at all and just hoping something would go in. Hope is never a great strategy when it comes to, especially somebody that wants to achieve at a very high level. We put hope into our own hands and we make shit happen. So that's what we ended up having to do. We practiced and we kind of fine tune, and it wasn't always perfect, but the intention was there. And then so was the technique. And it just ended up matching on that specific day. So the moral of the story is set a specific goal. Like, we have to have intention. A good example of this is if I was to dial your phone number and it was 321-4567, I have to dial those numbers in the exact order that it's presented to me, and I'd be able to reach you. If I get all the numbers right, but the order's wrong, there's no way I'm going to reach you. If I know 5 of the numbers and I guess at the last 2 because maybe I forgot them or I didn't write them down, and I had to pick the last 2 at random, it's a very slim chance that I'm going to be trying to reach you. I'm sorry, there's a very slim chance that I'm going to reach you. So intention and goals work the same way. You have to get them in the right order, and they have to be very specific. So what if we had the intention of getting better in the fitness and health and nutrition? So an example of not being intentional, and sometimes what people their intention is right, but it's not too intentional, is they're going in and saying, all right, what do I want to accomplish? Well, I want gains. By when? I don't care. This year. Give me something. Um, the source of what I'm doing. I'm just gonna see what feels good. So I'm not gonna really follow any program. I'm just gonna go into the gym. Every day is chest day. Never do legs, never stretch. I'm gonna just do what I feel like doing. Um, what's the vehicle that's going to drive me there? So that's like the fourth question. And some people might say, well, I'm motivated right now, so I'm gonna go hard when I'm motivated. Um, how? It's gonna be intense, hard work every day. When I'm motivated, but when I'm not motivated, probably take a couple days off and really not be that consistent. Um, and my mindset is, it's going to be a little skeptical. I'm going to worry a little bit because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So, with this type of strategy, there is not a lot of intention, and it's not very clear in the universe what we are trying to achieve. It's just a shot in the dark. So the hypothetical spear, I don't really have a good target painted. All right, so let's flip this one around and let's see how I can make this one a little bit more intentional and a little bit more precise. So, what exactly is a problem that I'm trying to solve, or what is my goal? My goal might be to get to 191 pounds. I want to get to 16% body fat. And the reason that's important is because at that point, I'll be able to see my abs. Um, I'll need to get to 959 miles. I'm sorry, 959 minute miles. Just I need to be under 10, and that's going to be a level of success that I'm going to get there. When am I going to be doing this? Depending on realistically how much I have to lose and how much I have to train. I'll set a date of 6 months from now, so 180 days. So by 100 days from today, this is what's going to happen. The source I'm going to do that is I'm going to hire somebody to help me with the nutrition, to help me with a game plan, and to help me with the technique that's needed to get there. The way I'm going to be getting there is consistency and discipline. So it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I'm going to be very intentional about the time I set aside. I'm going to protect that at all costs. So it might have to be late in the night when everybody's sleeping, or very early in the morning when nobody is awake. That might be my alone time. The attitude I'm going to carry with me is going to be very confident, especially with the person that is training me. I'm going to have a high level of security and who's telling me what to do, because one, I know that I'm going to vet somebody to do that. And I'm going to pay him money to do the exact thing that I need to do to get to where I want to go. So this in turn builds a belief and it builds confidence. What it's also doing is it's keeping this pattern of a goal and a process, it's keeping it going in the right direction, because it's not just about what you're doing, it's about the intention and how precise you are. So you are the motor that's getting this running. For this to happen, you need an application. So you need an action step, you need courage, you need integrity. It's got to be going in the right direction. So that's getting the ball rolling. So it's not just like, I'm just going to think about this stuff, it's going to happen, because it's not, right? But for those things to happen, you need to have a clear focus. You need to know exactly, granularly, what am I shooting at? The smaller the target, the smaller the miss. Now, after that, what attitude are you bringing to what you're doing? I am going to be accepting. My attitude is going to be trusting. I'm going to believe in what I'm doing, very confident in what I'm doing. Or if it's a field that I'm not so sure of, I'm going to be very receptive to any feedback. So my ego is out the door on this. And dog, that's day one. So we all know that, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's about consistency. So if we do this on day 3, day 4, day 97, day 145, day 180, on day 181, I am a totally different human being than I am on day 1, according to my goals. The same thing in the career. If I get very intentional about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how am I getting there, who am I using, who am I surrounding myself by, and what is my attitude towards it, it's going to be a big change than from where I started. Now, what is this all building up to? You are reinventing the self-image of yourself. Because unfortunately, when we start talking about self-doubt like we were at the beginning, that's what holds us back. If if I have a bad image of myself where I don't think that I am capable currently of achieving a goal, that's a lot of weight on my shoulders. It's going to, at the very least, it's going to slow me down. So, on the flip side, if the way that I'm talking to myself is like a commercial, or it's like it's a hype intro to whatever I'm getting into, I'm not gonna be comparing myself or fitting into somebody else's mold. Like, I'm not Usain Bolt. I don't have the same goals as him. I also don't train the same way as him. But he doesn't have the same goals as me. He doesn't have the happiness I have. He doesn't like the things that I have. Everybody is built differently. Everybody has their different sets of values, and everybody has things that makes them happy. And it's okay that it's not like the guy next to you. The only thing that we care about is what makes us happy. So we have to be very careful on to set our goals and not move them or adjust them before we actually hit them. And this could really be about anything. If somebody were to ask me, Jimmy, are you good at playing the piano? I can't say no. Somebody with a lot of self doubt said no. I would say, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Are you a good surgeon? I don't know. I didn't study. I didn't do anything according to those goals. So there's no measurement. I'm sure if I put my heart and soul into it and that was my intention, hell yeah, I'd be a good surgeon. But it's not what I want to put my time into. Jimmy, can you throw a spear? Fuck yeah, I could throw a spear. Throw it right through your forehead, son. But yes, the confidence is there. And it's not so much a fake it till you make it, it's being very intentional so you know the clear path. Guys, hopefully this is very helpful. Again, follow me on Instagram, Primal AF Podcast. Like, share if this was helpful. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.